Beta and the gamma function, part 2. Now the beta function, as we discussed earlier, beta mn is what? Integration 0 to 1 x raised to power m minus 1 x minus 1 raised to power n minus 1 dx. So that integral we write beta mn. So there are some basic properties of the beta function. The first one, beta function is symmetric, that is beta mn is equal to beta nm. And the second property, integration 0 to 1 x raised to power n minus 1 upon 1 plus x raised to power m plus n dx is equal to beta mn. And the third integral, that is third property, 2 integration 0 to pi by 2 sine theta raised to power 2 m minus 1 cos theta raised to power 2 n minus 1 d theta is also right beta mn. So there are three basic properties. Now we discuss the proof of this property. So the first property is what? Beta function is a symmetric, that is beta mn is equal to beta nm. How to prove that property? As we know, beta mn we write 0 to 1 integral x raised to power m minus 1 1 minus x raised to power n minus 1 dx. Now we know the property of the integration, that is integration, if we have an integration 0 to a fx dx, so it can be written as 0 to a f a minus x dx. So by using that property in that integral, so here a is what? 1. So we write 0 to 1, and in the place of x we write 1 minus x raised to power m minus 1 1 minus x whole power n minus 1 dx. Now 0 to 1, 1 minus x raised to power m minus 1, and we write x raised to power n minus 1 dx. Now if you see, that integral can be written 0 to 1 x raised to power n minus 1 1 minus x raised to power m minus 1 dx. So that integral is written as beta, first we write n then m, so we can say beta mn is equal to beta n m. Next property, beta mn is equal to integration 0 to infinity x raised to power n minus 1 1 plus x raised to power m plus n dx. So now how to prove that property? So as you know, beta mn is equal to 0 to 1 x raised to power m minus 1 1 minus x raised to power n minus 1 dx. Now here we just put x is equal to 1 upon 1 plus y and differentiate both sides. So we write dx is equal to minus 1 upon 1 plus y whole square dy. Now we put in that equation 1. So here the limit would be, if we put 0 in the place of x, so we get y is equal to infinity, and when we put 1 is, so we get y is equal to 0. So from equation 1, beta mn, the limit become infinity to 0. We are substituting x is equal to 1 upon 1 plus y raised to power m minus 1 and 1 minus 1 upon 1 plus y whole power n minus 1, and in the place of dx we write minus 1 upon 1 plus y whole square dy. Now if we interchange the upper and lower limit, so we get a negative sign, and negative sign, negative become positive, so we write 0 to infinity, and on that place if we are taking the LCM over here, so we write 1 plus y minus 1, that is y, so we can write y raised to power n minus 1 1 plus y raised to power m minus 1 1 plus y raised to power n minus 1 and 1 plus y whole square dy. Now beta mn is equal to, we write 0 to infinity y raised to power n minus 1, and if we add all the power m minus 1, n minus 1 and plus 2, so we can write 1 plus y whole power m plus n, and minus 1 become minus 2 plus 2, so we get m plus n dy. So as you see, we prove that property beta mn is equal to, we can write 0 to infinity, and the variable y raised to power n minus 1 plus 1 upon y raised to power m plus n dy. The third property, 2 integration 0 to 2 pi sine theta raised to power 2m minus 1 cos theta raised to power 2n minus 1 d theta become beta mn. So if you want to prove that property, so first we take beta mn is what, 0 to 1 x raised to power m minus 1 1 minus x raised to power n minus 1 dx. Now we just substitute x is equal to sine square theta and dx become 2 sine theta cos theta d theta. We just substitute in that integral one, we get beta mn is equal to, limit is also changed, so when we put 0 here, so we get 0 limit, and when we put 1, so we get pi by 2, and on the place of x we put sine square theta, so we write sine square theta whole power m minus 1 1 minus sine square theta whole power n minus 1, and on the place of dx we write 2 sine theta cos theta d theta. So we write 2 0 to pi by 2, that's become 2m minus 2 and plus 1, so it becomes sine 2m minus 1 theta, and that's can be write cos square theta, and so again we get cos theta whole square 2 n minus 1 d theta. So that way we can prove the property. So please remember these three properties. We can use these relation directly in the examples. Now the relation between the beta and the gamma function, beta mn is equal to gamma m into gamma n upon gamma m plus n. That's a very important relation. Now this is how to prove that relation. So as we know, by the property of the gamma function, gamma m upon z raised to power m is equal to 0 to infinity e raised to power minus z x raised to power m minus 1 dx. So I'm just replacing lambda with z. Now we can write gamma m is equal to z raised to power m 0 to infinity e raised to power minus zx x raised to power m minus 1 dx, or you can take that in the integral z raised to power m e raised to power minus zx x raised to power m minus 1 dx. That's gamma m. Now multiplying both sides by a factor, that is, you just take z raised to power n minus 1 e raised to power minus z both sides. So when multiply that factor z raised to power n minus 1 e raised to power minus z is equal to 0 to infinity z raised to power minus n e raised to power minus z raised to power m e raised to power zx x raised to power m minus 1 dx. Now to simplify that, we can write 0 to infinity e raised to power minus 1 plus x z and z raised to power, that z raised to power m plus n minus 1 and x raised to power m minus 1 dx. Now we take that's an equation number, suppose that's an equation 1, let's say this is equation 2. Now At that stage, integrating both sides with respect to z from 0 to infinity. So we get gamma n is constant, so we write 0 to infinity z raised to power n minus 1 e raised to power minus z dz is equal to 0 to infinity, double integration 0 to infinity, we write e raised to power minus z1 plus x z raised to power m plus n minus 1 x raised to power m minus 1 dx and dz. So if we change the order of integration, so we can write 0 to infinity e raised to power minus z 1 plus x into z raised to power m plus n minus 1 dz and x raised to power m minus 1 dx. So now if you remember the property of the gamma function, so this can be written as gamma, this become gamma m plus n upon 1 plus x raised to power m plus n. If you use that formula, which is that formula, on the place of z we just write 1 plus x. So now what we get, the remaining x minus 1 x raised to power m minus 1 dx. So here that factor is common, we take outside the integral m plus n gamma integration 0 to infinity x raised to power m minus 1 1 plus x raised to power m plus n dx, and you know the property by the property of beta function, that's become gamma m plus n, and that's a what, that's a beta m n. And here if you see here, that is what, that's an gamma n. So we can write gamma m into gamma n is equal to gamma m plus n beta mn. So we prove beta mn is equal to gamma m into gamma n upon gamma m plus n. So in that way we can prove that particular relation, which is very important when we find the value of beta function. So we use that relation to find the value of beta function. There is one more important relation, that's an integration 0 to pi by 2 sine m theta cos n theta d theta. We write gamma m plus 1 by 2 gamma n plus by 2 divide by 2 gamma m plus n plus, that's in 2 by 2. So how to prove that relation? So we just take, and we know the beta, suppose we take p and q, so we write 0 to 1 x raised to power p minus 1 and 1 minus x raised to power q minus 1 dx. Now as we know the relation between beta and gamma function, which is gamma p gamma q upon gamma p plus q. So here we can write x raised to power this uh, 1 minus x raised to power q minus 1 dx. Now put x is equal to sine square theta. So dx we put 2 sine theta cos theta d theta. Now substitute in that equation 1. So we can write gamma p gamma q upon gamma p plus q is equal to the limit when we put 0, so we get 0, and when we put 1 here, so we get theta, that's in pi by 2. On the place of x, we put sine square theta, so we write sine square 2p minus 2 theta into 1 minus sine square theta q minus 1, and the place of dx we write 2 sine theta cos theta cos theta d theta. Now if we simplify this, so we write sine theta raised to power 2p minus 1, and 1 minus sine square theta we write cos theta raised to power cos square theta q minus 1 into cos theta d theta. So we can write 0 to pi by 2 sine 2p minus 1 theta, and that's become cos 2q minus 1 d theta. Now p plus q. Now we just putting 2p minus 1 is equal to says m, and 2q minus 1 says n. So p we get m plus 1 by 2, and q we get n plus 1 by 2. Now so we get, when we putting here p and q, so we get gamma m plus 1 by 2 gamma n plus 1 by 2 upon gamma m plus 1 by 2 plus n plus 1 by 2 is equal to, right, sorry, there's a mistake, that's in 2 which we write outside 2. So we write 2 integration 0 to pi by 2 sine raised to power m theta cos raised to power n theta d theta. So when we that's to take in the denominator on the left hand side, so we can say gamma m plus 1 gamma n plus 1 by 2 time of gamma. If we take the LCM here, so we can write m plus n plus 2 by 2 is equal to 0 to pi by 2 sine m theta cos n theta d theta. Means if we have an integration 0 to pi by 2 sine square theta cos cube theta d theta, so we can easily, or we can say directly, write the value of that integration by that relation. Now there is also one important formula that is called duplication formula. So in that formula, to show that gamma m plus 1 by 2 is equal to root pi gamma 2m upon 2 raised to power 2m minus 1, where that m is what, in positive integer. So to prove that formula, so we know that the beta mn, we write gamma m gamma n upon 2 gamma m plus n. That's the relation between beta and gamma function. And we also know we can write that beta mn is also 0 to pi by 2 sine raised to power 2m minus 1 theta cos raised to power 2n minus 1 theta d theta. So we take at 1. Now if we put here in that equation 1, 2n minus 1 is equal to 0. So that implies n is equal to 1 by 2. So by equation 1 we get, on the place of n we put 1 by 2. So we write gamma m gamma 1 by 2 upon 2 time of gamma m plus 1 by 2. And on the right hand side we get 0 to pi by 2 sine 2m minus 1 theta, and that's become 0. So the power of something 0, we get 1. So we write d theta. So it says that's an equation 2. Now again from equation 1, that equation we put m is equal to n in equation 1. So what we get, we just put m is equal to n. So we get gamma m upon 2 gamma m plus m is equal to 0 to pi by 2, and this becomes sine 2m minus 1 theta cos 2m minus 1 theta d theta. Now you can write gamma m whole square 2 gamma 2m on left hand side, and on right hand side 0 to pi by 2 we can write sine theta cos theta raised to power 2m minus 1 d theta. Now multiply and divide by 2. In that term we can write 0 to pi by 2, and if we multiply 2 and divide by 2, so we can write sine 2 theta upon 2 raised to power 2m minus 1 d theta. Now we can write 0 to pi by 2 sine 2 theta raised to power 2m minus 1 divided by 2 raised to power 2m minus 1 d theta. So let's now here you just let us take 2 theta is equal to say phi. So we can write 2 theta is equal to d phi, or d theta is equal to d phi by d by 2, and we write 1 upon 2 raised to power 2m minus 1, that's in constant part. So we take out the integration, outside the integration. So here we write sine phi whole raised to power 2m minus 1 d phi by 2. And now that's in, if we change the 2 theta with theta, the limit become what? So limit is also 0 to pi. Now we use the property of integration. As you know, the property of integration, if we have an integration 0 to 2a fx dx, so we can write 2 0 to a fx dx. So use that property here. So we can write 1 upon 2 raised to power 2m minus 1, limit 0 to pi by 2, 2 outside, we write sine phi raised to power 2m minus 1 d5 by 2. We cancel that too. Now on the left hand side we have gamma m whole square 2 gamma 2m. Now that's 2 raised to power 2m minus 1. We can write 2 upon 2 raised to power 2m. 0 to pi by 2 is a sine phi raised to power 2m minus 1 d phi. Now you just take that 2 upon 2 raised to power on the left hand side. So we can write 2 raised to power 2m gamma m whole square 2 square gamma 2m is equal to 0 to pi by 2 sine phi 2m minus 1 d phi. Now just we say that's an equation 3. If you see the equation 2, so on the left right hand part of that equation is similar. So if we equate the equation 3 and 2, so we can say from equation 2 and 3 we can say gamma m gamma 1 by 2 upon 2 times of gamma m plus 1 by 2 is equal to 2 raised to power 2m gamma m whole square 2 raised to power 2 gamma 2m. Now we can say that we cancel and we write gamma m into gamma m plus 1 by 2. We write 2 gamma 2m upon 2 raised to power 2m minus 1 root, that's in 1 by 2, and the value of 1 by 2 we can write root pi. So in that way we prove that duplication formula, which is very helpful when you solving the problem of beta and gamma function.